Welcome back, everyone, to Where the Water Tastes Like Wine. You're here with Brandon Lefebvre, otherwise known as DraxxKraven, and we're going to read a book. This is a book.
They've taken over a booth at the roadside diner, tables strewn with papers and forms. He's in shirt sleeves, revolver hanging loosely off his chest. She's in a moss green dress from 2 seasons ago, and a felt hat that's begun to warp.
A curious duo.
You slip into the booth next to him. Tell me again where you saw him last? He asks.
He was in the car with me. We were just driving down the road.
Just driving down the road, ma'am?
So where did you stop the car? He asks. She sounds exasperated.
I told you, I never did.
They have the same accent, same drawl from somewhere in North Texas or Oklahoma. But his is subtler, although he's been trying to shake it for a few years.
They plotting something? I'll keep my eyes to myself.
You try not to disturb them, but in truth, they barely know you're there.
We were going 40 miles an hour when he vanished. All I saw were those damn lights.
In the lingering, baffled silence that follows, you find your cue to leave.
The missing people and the strange lights of the desert sky. Oh my. Are there aliens over Los Angeles? Mayhap, mayhap. Alright, what do we have here? It appears to be some sort of troll. Perhaps?
Motors running, and nobody's driving. Flies buzz the windshield. Beyond the van is a driveway, paved through cut green grass to the top of the hill. There you see a squat, rustic mansion. The sun turns your back damp.
Is it that strange bus?
It's a newer model. You don't recognize it. Inside, you see food wrappers, bottles of beer, and half a discarded cheeseburger. You come around to the windshield, where something incomprehensible is written in big, sloppy letters, backwards, as to appear correctly in a mirror.
Look closer.
In lipstick, the word Piggies. You glance back and forth between the message and your own reflection in the windshield, and on the latter glance, you see a large figure hovering behind you. Then you feel something hard. Then you see nothing.
That sounds bad.
You awake, face down in the crisp green grass. The back of your neck tender with sunburn. Your head still tender from the blow. The van is gone. Tracks carved in the dirt lead back toward the road. You check your skull. Still intact. Your wallet, however, is less so.
Ha! Joke's on you. I was broke. Huh. A weird trap, if that's what it was supposed to be. Can't rightly say. Alright, let's collect the stories around LA and then we'll check out this new campfire. Soon I'll have enough stories to basically enchant everyone.
The jackrabbit flees across the desert, and the house cat follows. They're equals in speed and finesse, a miniature portrait of lion and gazelle. This drama of nature captivates, even though, if you're honest, the whole spectacle's mostly just adorable.
Jackrabbit flees across the desert and the house cat follows. Sounds like a Dark Tower fan if ever I saw one. Let's watch this chase.
The hare turns as it lands and carries the momentum forward. The house cat reacts too slow, skids past, putting distance between the two critters. Their hair races past you. Are those? No. Couldn't be. This jackrabbit has antlers. Huh.
I dare say a jackalope? Cheer for the jackrabbit.
Your mighty whoop fills the jackrabbit with determination. It turns and thrusts its antlers at the cat, little teeth bared like needles. The house cat hits the brakes and bolts the other direction, twice as fast as before.
Move on. No trains around LA. Looks like we'll be hitching or bust.
You reckon he can make the time? The old timer elbows you as you try to get a look from the edge of the pen. Thick dust kicking up from the bronco's hooves. The cowboy's body swings like a reed being whipped in the air. He doesn't fall quite yet.
I think I could use another star story before I get another Wheel of Fate. Wouldn't know.
I've been watching this for years.
You can hear him masticate something inside his leathery jaw. Tobacco, probably.
Never know till it's over.
Keep watching.
After an agonizing minute, where you're sure the skinny cowboy is going to snap in half under the force, time is called.
Son of a bitch.
You hear the old timer say.
Damn boy did it.
Right on. New story. The rodeo. Let's explore LA.
In this plaza, jacaranda trees nestle among adobe structures. A man sits in the shade of the largest one, plucking notes on his guitar. Wind rustles their branches and stirs up sounds of shouting, truncheons on flesh. An old woman fanning herself looks up at the noise.
I've had my fill of musicians. I'll talk to the woman.
When you ask her about the shouts, she sighs. Voices from the riot. Police stormed the plaza, rounded up everyone in it, put them on a train to Mexico. Even people who were born here, like my brother. Intellectuals, socialists, and artists used to gather here. Now, a branch scrapes at a freshly painted wall. A man shouts at another to run towards Bunker Hill. Memories, she finishes. But those of us left, we don't forget. We're still here. History is a palimpsest. Voices linger. Echoes that resonate when we listen.
Sounds about right. Let's earn some cash. Look for work. You wait outside a lumber warehouse for hours. You don't get there early enough for work in the warehouse. Truck swings by every few minutes picking up loads of fresh wood. Sometimes a few people in the street corner for a job elsewhere in the city. Oh, God. Doing what? Sucking my dick? No. Yep. Familiar with that one. Alright. Who do we got here? Who's the latest unlucky bastard? Bertha, where the four winds dwell.
You been in California long? It's been a few years for me, but they still call me Okie. I came west when our farm stopped growing anything but a crop of dust. But when we got here, there were so many others here before us. Maybe you've got less need behind you. I hope so, for your sake. I've had a hard day. Do you know any hopeful stories to cheer me up?
I've got a few. How about the story of the seagulls and the fishermen near Portland, Maine? It's a little one, but it's a good one.
That's a good one. I'll try to remember it when I'm out in the fields. Future? Now this is how I feel about the future these days. You know how sometimes you look out in the horizon and you You see the dust clouds shaping up out there, this curved brown wall? You hope it'll blow itself out before it gets to you. But it probably won't. Been so long since I last chuckled, I'm not sure my mouth can do it anymore. Can you tell me a story that'll make me laugh?
I think I can. It's time for the story of the witch girl and her kitten familiars. Is that story still funny?
Oh, my sides hurt.
Oh boy. Oh, it's super effective.
Joy. Oh, when we first heard they were looking for workers in California, that was joy. We thought we'd get here and have our own home right away. And no dirt floor either. Anyway, I'm looking for a good laugh.
Well, at this point, she's already ready for the next leg of the journey. So let's focus on subjects. I think I got it. I'll try to focus on tales in which I've got an abundance of, because I've got a lot of sadness. I've got a lot of the sun. Got a lot of the emperor. Authority. Past. Family. I'll tell the story of the murdering twins. It's like a joke. A cruel one.
You can't spook me like that anymore. Family's the people you have to share your food with. The ones you don't show to the door when supper is coming, no matter how little there is in the pot. Been so long since I last chuckled, I'm not sure my mouth can do it.
All right. Let's do some sadness. The story of the dead boy in the grain silo near Columbus.
Huh. And that's the saddest one you got? Sorrow always goes down hard. Worse when it's a bitter kind of sorrow. Back in Oklahoma, we saved and saved to put a wood floor in our house. But the first winter we had it, we ran out of money for fuel and we had to chop that floor and burn it. Felt so bad losing our floor. Much worse than when we never had one. Anyway, know any good hopeful stories to share? I could sure use one.
Let's figure out what sort of tale the dandy newspaper reporter is. I think that's technically funny, but I want to hear.
If you're trying to make me laugh, it's not working, you know.
Okay, all right, so that's a funny tale, so I'll remember that.
Choice? Most of us don't have many choices what we do. We don't have enough to give away. After we'd been here a while, my husband wanted to go back to Oklahoma. But I knew there was nothing for us there anymore. I said I wasn't going back there to starve to death. So he took the girls and went without me.
Oh.
And now, I'm going my own way. Down the road this way, actually, to the next job, on and on and on. What about you? Where are you going? What are you leaving behind?
Bertha. Alright, I am gonna head south a ways to catch those few stories, and then swing up back north. Near as I can tell, I'll run into Bertha, the hippie, and August on my way up there. And so I'll be able to share my tales with them and maybe get them to chapter 3. I ain't been able to get anyone to chapter 3 yet. But since I've got Bertha's tale and the hippie's tale, those will be able to help me along the way.
An excitable man in dirty suspenders waves you over to a cave mouth.
Partner, do me a favor, friend. Can you, inspect that cave there? Got 2 bits with your name on them.
Alrighty then.
The cave interior is nice and cool. There's a whole bear hide, treated and tanned, lying on the ground. It'll be a good spot to rest for a time. if not for the human skeleton.
That's bad. Let's check out those bones.
Back of
Wait,
the
what? Check the
skull
what?
has a hole about the size of a quarter. You find a slip of journal paper inside the mouth. Normal bones, which Floyd the respectable prospector ain't touched nor seen much, merely stumbled upon during honest business.
I'll leave the cave.
The man jumps out of his suspenders when he notices your return.
Friend! Oh, gave me an awful scare. Making me think you got lost in there. Hey, you see those bones? How do you think that fella croaked?
Plenty of bears around, you know.
The man cups your hands and screams in rapture.
My sly friend, you didn't tell me you're a detective. I'd have never deduced that in a million years. Lord in heaven, I'm blessed. Blessed!
After he pulls back, you feel something inside your hands.
Open my hands.
Oh, it's a shiny silver coin. Great.
Floyd, the suspicious prospector. Tiny Motormouth. Ah, yes. Listen in. A deer which chose death over enslavement. That's an interesting spin on that one. At least it's a good story. The white deer. What do we got here?
Beside this lonely campfire, a familiar, magnificent black horse rears at your presence. A familiar old Stetson-hatted cowboy calms him. "Easy, boy," Bill says. He turns his attention to you. "Sorry, he startles around strangers. I guess he's like me. You want to give him an apple?"
I'm down.
The horse snorts as you approach. "Easy, easy," Bill says again, his voice low and soothing. The horse eyes you warily, but lowers its head to your palm and begins to eat. The cowboy nods as he lifts a tin pot from the flames. "You want a cup of coffee, stranger?"
I'm down.
Don't get company much, but I try to be hospitable. West's changed. Folks still need each other. A rattlesnake unwinds from his neck and slithers down his arm. Oh, don't worry, he won't bite. There's no animal I can't tame. People, though. He trails off, stares into the fire.
The man who could soothe animals.
The railway was a fast route between two towns, but the oil which promised to make each town rich was never there.
Oh.
The track died fast. The citizens, like the bird, survive on pickings. The vulture gouges at a cow's jawbone, a piece of paper trapped under the skull.
What is with all these skulls with notes? I read the note.
Your motion disturbs the bird, takes off with an air of disdain. The buffalo is long dead. There was no meat left. It lands again, not far across the track. The note tears as you pull it free. I can't wait longer. Ran out of food.
Piece the note together.
Mary, I can't wait longer. Ran out of food, so had to hunt. I hate it. I said we'd leave for a new life, but not one like this. Guess you've changed your mind. If you still want to marry me, I'm going north. I love you.
Take the path across the track.
The rider did not make it far. Some 200 yards across the track is a body on its back. It stinks. Marks in the dirt indicate someone tried to move it. Its arms are folded over its chest. A once white handkerchief has been used to cover the man's face.
I examined the body. I could use more Three of Staves stories.
The clothes at the front are bloody and torn where they've been pecked by birds. There's no obvious wound that hasn't been inflicted after death. When you roll it over with your foot, the killing blow is obvious. A shotgun blast to the back at short range.
The dead man by the abandoned railway. Alright, that'll do for this episode of Where the Water Tastes Like Wine. If you liked what you saw, like. If you want to continue the adventure, please hit subscribe. And if you think that what I do is really keen, you can send me a couple bucks monthly on Patreon. I can use that money to do fantastic, amazing things like make more videos, start streaming, hire an artist to do cool shit, and do the coolest thing I can think of, pay my rent. But until then, good night, everyone. I'm going for that last story.